My family went on vacation to Paris, and stole $20,000 from me while I was stuck at home. You know that saying, family comes first? Yeah. I used to believe that too. Until my family took a dream vacation to Paris, funded entirely by me. Without asking. I'm 32, live in Maryland, and I've always been the responsible one in my family. The one who pays the bills on time, has a steady job, and bails people out when life hits them hard. My parents are retired but terrible with money. My younger sister, Lily, is 27 and somehow always between jobs. I've helped them plenty over the years, rent, hospital bills, even Lily's car loan. I never asked for anything back. But this time, they crossed a line I can't forgive. It started a few months ago when my mom called me in tears. "Sweetheart, we're short on the mortgage this month. Just a small loan, we'll pay you right back when Dad's pension comes through." She sounded desperate. I checked my account and wired her $20,000. It was most of my emergency savings, but they were my parents. I trusted them. For a week, I didn't think much of it. Until I noticed something odd. Lily's Instagram suddenly lit up, new posts, new stories, new captions full of Eiffel Towers, croissants, and designer shopping bags. At first, I thought it was fake. Some kind of throwback post. But then I saw my mom and dad in one of her videos, smiling on a Seine River cruise, champagne glasses raised. The caption read, "Family trip of a lifetime. Paris, we love you, Two Hearts, France." My heart dropped. I called my mom immediately. She answered cheerfully. "Hi, honey. How are you?" I didn't even say hello. "Where are you?" She hesitated for half a second. "Oh, we're just out for dinner." "In Paris?" I snapped. "With the money I sent you?" There was a long pause. Then she sighed, "We were going to tell you. It was a last-minute trip. You've been so busy lately, we didn't want to bother you." "Bother me?" I said, my voice shaking. "You lied. You said it was for the mortgage." Mom got defensive immediately. "Don't start with that tone. We needed this. Your father's been stressed, and Lily found a great deal. You know how hard we've worked our whole lives. You stole from me." I said. "That was my savings." She didn't even sound guilty. "We'll pay you back. Eventually." When they got back a week later, I was waiting at their house. Lily strutted in wearing a Louis Vuitton scarf. "Oh, hey," she said casually, like nothing happened. "You should have come, it was amazing." "I lost it." "You used my money." "You lied." "You pretended it was for bills." Mom crossed her arms. "We just wanted one family trip while we're all still together." "You're being dramatic." "Dramatic?" I said. "That was my emergency fund. You didn't even ask." Dad finally spoke, voice low. "We didn't think you'd understand. You're always so controlling with money." I laughed bitterly. "Controlling? You mean responsible. The only reason you even can take these trips is because I clean up your financial messes." Lily rolled her eyes. "Oh, come on. It's just money. You make plenty." That was it. "Get out," I said. They looked shocked. "What?" "You heard me. Out of my life. You used me for years, but this is done. Don't call, don't text, don't ask for a cent ever again." I walked out before they could respond. A week later, my mom sent me a message. "We can't believe you're cutting off your family over one misunderstanding. You've changed." I didn't reply. Instead, I went to my bank, changed all my passwords, closed their access to my joint emergency account, which, stupidly, I had kept open for family emergencies, and froze my credit just in case. Then I booked myself a solo weekend in New York. I didn't owe anyone an explanation. It's been 6 months since the Paris trip. They haven't paid me back a single dollar. But honestly, I don't even care anymore. Because the real price wasn't $20,000. It was learning the truth. They never saw me as family. They saw me as a wallet. And I'm finally done being their bank. After discovering my family had drained my account, I didn't sleep that night. I sat by the hotel window overlooking the Seine, replaying every memory, every sacrifice, every favor they'd ever asked for. By sunrise, my anger had settled into something colder, clarity. I wasn't going to let them walk away this time. The first thing I did was go to the bank. I showed them the fraudulent transactions, all sent to my brother's Venmo and my mother's PayPal. The French bank manager frowned and said, "You'll need to contact U.S. authorities, monsieur." So I did. I called my bank in Maryland, reported theft, and froze the accounts tied to my family's cards. Within hours, I got confirmation that the transfers were being reversed pending investigation. Then, I confronted them. We were at breakfast in the hotel lobby. My mom was sipping her coffee, pretending nothing happened. My brother was scrolling on his phone, smirking. So, I said, placing my phone on the table, "You guys enjoyed spending my money?" They froze. My mom blinked, feigning confusion. "What are you talking about? You transferred $20,000 out of my account. I have the receipts. You're not getting away with it this time." My brother laughed. "Relax, man. It's family money. You've always had more than us." I stared at him. "That's not how theft works, genius." My dad finally spoke up. "We thought you'd help us out. You've been doing so well, why not share?" "Share?" I snapped. "You lied. You stole. You used me to fund your vacation." The table went quiet. Other guests started looking over. My mom hissed, "Keep your voice down." "No," I said. "You don't get to steal from me and then ask me to be polite about it." That day, I packed my bags, checked out early, and booked a new flight home. I didn't even tell them what flight I was on. By the time my plane landed back in Maryland, the investigation was underway. My bank confirmed that at least half of the money would be recovered, the rest might take weeks. Then came the real shock, a voicemail from my mom. "We didn't mean for it to go this far. Please don't get us in trouble. We'll pay you back when we can." They wouldn't. They never do. Weeks later, I got an email from my dad. "You ruined our family trip. Over a little misunderstanding." That line made me laugh out loud. A little misunderstanding, like $20,000 accidentally vanished into their pockets. I replied only once. "You didn't ruin the trip. You ruined us." Now, every time someone mentions Paris, I don't think of croissants or the Eiffel Tower. I think of that hotel room, the moment I realize that sometimes, your worst betrayal comes from the people who raised you. And this time, I didn't forgive them. When I landed back in Maryland, my phone was filled with messages. Missed calls from mom, long texts from my brother, even one pathetic, "We love you," from dad. But the one that made me pause was from my aunt, Karen. "Honey, your mom told me you left them stranded in Paris. What happened?" Of course, she only heard their version, the one where I was the villain. I didn't respond. Instead, I sat in my apartment surrounded by half-packed luggage and receipts from the trip, wondering how I'd let myself be fooled again. I'd paid for their tickets, the hotel, the rental car, and now they'd stolen from me too. All in the name of family. 2 weeks passed before I heard from them again. Then one afternoon, a thick envelope arrived in my mailbox, postmarked from France. Inside was a single note from my mother, written in her perfect cursive. You embarrassed us in front of everyone. You made your father feel small. We didn't mean to hurt you, but you've always acted like money matters more than family. Maybe this distance is what you wanted. And at the bottom, taped to the paper, was a $100 bill. Like that could fix $20,000. That night, I couldn't sleep. My head replayed every memory of them borrowing, just a bit here, a few hundred there. When I bought my first car, they asked for the down payment. When I got my promotion, they hinted about family investments. And every time, I gave in, thinking they'd finally see me as more than a walking ATM. But this time, I was done. The next morning, I went to my bank again. The fraud investigation was moving forward, and my banker, a middle-aged woman named Dana, gave me a sympathetic look. Technically, she said, if they had access to your account, it's still considered unauthorized. You can press charges. My stomach turned. Even if they're my parents? She nodded. Especially if they're your parents. For a long moment, I stared at the paperwork she slid toward me. The idea of sending my own family into legal trouble felt wrong, but so did letting them destroy my trust again. I signed. When the police report was filed, the fallout was immediate. My mom called me in tears the next day. You called the cops on your family? We're your blood, for God's sake. Then act like it, I said. Blood doesn't give you the right to rob me. Dad got on the phone next, his voice full of anger. You think you're better than us now, huh? Because you make a little more money? I don't think I'm better, I said quietly. I just think I deserve respect. He hung up. Over the next few weeks, word spread through our extended family. Some cousins reached out, confused. My aunt called again, furious that I'd taken things too far. Karen, I told her, they stole 20 grand. Would you call that a misunderstanding? Silence. Then she muttered, well, I guess not. A month later, I got a notice from the police. My parents had agreed to repay the stolen money in installments to avoid further legal action. My brother, however, wasn't so lucky. He'd used some of the funds to gamble online. He was being charged with wire fraud. I didn't celebrate. I didn't even feel good about it. But I did feel relief. For the first time in years, I wasn't the family's safety net. Then, one evening, my mom showed up at my door. No warning. Just her, standing there with tearful eyes and a small suitcase. Can I come in? She asked softly. Against my better judgment, I let her. She sat on my couch, fidgeting with her hands. I didn't know your father and your brother took that much, she said. They told me it was for hotel upgrades, not all that. Mom, I said gently, you signed the withdrawal forms. I saw your name. Her eyes filled with tears. I just wanted us to have one nice trip together. One memory before your father gets too old to travel. You could have asked, I whispered. You didn't have to steal it. I know, she said. I just didn't think you'd say yes anymore. We sat there in silence. When she finally left, I felt something break inside me, not anger this time, but sadness. Because I realized she wasn't sorry for what she did. She was sorry for getting caught. It's been 6 months now. My brother pled guilty and got probation. My parents paid back most of the money, though it doesn't matter anymore. They've tried reaching out, birthdays, holidays, meaningless apologies. I ignore them. Sometimes I think about Paris, the Eiffel Tower lit up at night, the smell of coffee and rain, the laughter of strangers who didn't know my pain. It should have been a dream trip. Instead, it became the moment I woke up from my lifelong delusion that family meant unconditional trust. Now, I spend my holidays with people who actually care, friends, co-workers, my girlfriend. People who don't see my bank account as their opportunity. A year had passed since the Paris disaster, and I honestly thought I'd moved on. New job, new apartment, new people in my life. People who didn't drain me emotionally or financially. But peace doesn't last when your past refuses to stay buried. It started with a single email. Subject, family reunion, please come. From, Dad. It was a generic invite, no apology, no explanation. Just an address and a date. At first, I deleted it. Then, curiosity got the better of me. Something in me needed to see how far they'd go to pretend everything was normal. So, against my better judgment, I went. The reunion was at my parents' house in Maryland. Same old place, the one I'd helped them pay off years ago when they claimed they were struggling. As I pulled up, I saw new patio furniture, fresh paint, and my brother's car in the driveway. I almost turned around right then. But I walked in. The moment I stepped inside, everyone froze. My mother's face went pale, my father stiffened, and my brother muttered, "Well, look who decided to show up." "Nice to see you too," I said flatly. My mom tried to smile. "We just wanted the family together again. It's been so long." "Yeah," I said. "Almost a year since the theft." The air went silent. My father clenched his jaw. "Can we not bring that up? It's in the past." I laughed. "The past? You mean when you all stole my life savings?" The dinner that followed was excruciating. They tried to act like nothing had happened, talking about vacations, grandkids, and local gossip, but the tension sat heavy between us. Then came the reason they'd invited me. Dad leaned back in his chair and said, "We're thinking of selling the house. We could use your help handling the paperwork. Maybe even invest a little, help the family out again." I just stared at him. "You're asking me for money," I said slowly, "after you stole $20,000 from me." He frowned. "That's not fair. We paid you back." "You returned what you got caught stealing," I corrected. "That's not the same as paying me back." My brother chuckled. "Man, you're still stuck on that. You're so dramatic. You've got plenty of money." I turned to him. "Yeah, I do, because I don't gamble it away like you." His smile vanished. My mom slammed her fork down. "Enough. This is supposed to be a nice dinner." "Then stop pretending," I said. "You didn't invite me here for reconciliation. You wanted another handout." She looked wounded. "That's not true." "Then why was the first thing Dad said about money?" No one spoke. I stood up. "You know what? Keep your house. Keep your lies. I'm done being the family bank." My dad muttered something under his breath, something like, "Ungrateful." I turned back to him. "Ungrateful? You stole from me. You lied. You blamed me. And I'm still standing here trying to give you closure you don't deserve." As I left the house, my mom followed me to the door. Her voice trembled. "Please don't leave like this," she said. "We just wanted to start over." I looked at her, really looked. For the first time, I didn't see my mother. I saw a woman who would rather manipulate than admit she was wrong. "Mom," I said quietly, "you can't start over when you've never owned what you did." She started crying. "I just don't want to lose you." "You already did," I said, and walked away. 3 weeks later, I got a certified letter in the mail, from my parents' lawyer. They'd sold the house. Inside the envelope was a check made out to me for $20,000. The note attached said, "You can't accuse us of being thieves anymore. Now we're even." I stared at that check for a long time. Then I tore it in half. Because by then, it wasn't about money anymore. It was about respect, and the fact that they'd never truly understood what they took from me. They didn't just steal $20,000, they stole my trust, my love, my belief that family meant something sacred. You can't repay that with a check. Now, when people ask why I don't visit home for holidays, I just say, my family lives in Paris. It's easier than explaining the truth, that my real home is with the people I built around me after I finally let go. It's been 2 years since that trip. 2 years since I walked out of their house and tore up that check. I haven't spoken to them since. At first, it felt strange. No calls on birthdays, no awkward holiday visits, no fake apologies. But slowly, silence turned into peace. I bought a small townhouse in Baltimore. I filled it with things that felt like me: music, plants, warmth, people who actually cared. My friends became my family. They didn't ask for money. They just showed up. Last week, I got a postcard from Paris. No name, no return address. Just a picture of the Eiffel Tower and 3 words on the back. We miss you. I looked at it for a long time, then slid it into a drawer and walked away. Because I finally realized something. Family isn't defined by blood, it's defined by trust. And once they broke that, they stopped being my family. It's been 3 years since Paris. 3 years of silence, of rebuilding my life without the constant stress of being the family's bank. And honestly, it's been the healthiest time I've ever had. I still get reminders, emails, texts, even social media posts where my mom or sister show off some trip or fancy purchase. But I scroll past them now. No anger, no frustration. Just a quiet smile, because I know they no longer have power over me. A few months ago, I got a call from my brother. It was unexpected. "Hey. I just wanted to say sorry," he mumbled. "I've been thinking a lot about what happened in Paris, and after." I didn't say anything for a moment. Then I asked calmly, "Do you really mean that, or do you just want something?" There was silence. Then he said, "I mean it. I messed up. We all did. And I just want to make amends." I thought about it. Thought about the years of lies, the betrayal, the stolen money, the broken trust. And then I realized something important. Forgiveness doesn't mean going back. It doesn't mean letting them back into your life. So I said, "I forgive you. But you're not my family anymore. Don't contact me again." A weight lifted. Not because I had made them suffer, but because I had reclaimed myself. Now, I spend my holidays in my townhouse, surrounded by people who actually care, people who don't see me as a wallet. I travel when I want. I save, I spend, I laugh, freely, without guilt or manipulation. Paris taught me a hard lesson: some family ties are toxic, some betrayals cut deep, and some people will never change. But you can choose your own family, your own peace, and your own life. And that's exactly what I did.